Hey everybody, I'm Eric. My name is Eric. I'm making a game in Unity with C# and polygons and meshes and textures and colliders. Yeah, all that magical stuff. And I'll show you. I'm going to be real happy when I don't have to say this anymore. But there is an old project that had a whole bunch of stuff working in it, and it broke. And now I'm in the new project, and I'm moving stuff over, and I'm getting it to work again. And in a bottom-up fashion, making sure that each thing works and is how I like it before I move on to the next thing. And I've done a lot of work on that. Almost everything that I've tried to work with has been initially broken, and then I had to fix it. So it's been a bit arduous, and there is the demoralizing aspect of all this work being to return to a point where I was before. Although in truth, it's a better place than I was before, even if it looks a lot similar, because I'm doing everything in a more long-term thinking way, a more robust and maintainable way. So this is an ugly test level. It's not meant to wow you, but it kind of gives you an idea. Now I'm not moving the camera in the editor like this, because that's not representative of the game world, or it's not representative of the view you'd see while playing the game. What you'd see while playing the game is, I acknowledge the lameness of telling you what the game will be like instead of just showing you. You see a top-down camera view, and then this character here who you control. Move her around, and as she moves around, the camera follows above her, and you know, she can explore nooks and crannies, and there's many more capabilities that she has that will become visible in the coming days. Ooh, I said days, meaning like maybe I'll get this thing running over the weekend. That would be cool. But today, here, I'll show you what happens when I hit play. Various issues. Basically, all the loading stuff isn't working yet. So today I want to fix some of it, but I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. It's a real firm rule. It's a real firm rule of these sessions that I need to pick something that I can finish within the session at the beginning. Although I'm tempted to fix the Z-fighting issues in the clouds. You see how the clouds, sometimes one will pop over the top of another? Is that Z-fighting, or is that something else? That one just disappeared. It might just be that the camera is like over. Could be over the wrong area. That's weird. So it is a strange thing that. So this should be the camera, and yet it seems to be out over here for some reason. What's this? No. Okay. Sorry, I gotta take a look at some of this stuff. Okay, it's not necessarily a problem that these guys are changing what I see, because I think what's happening is for some reason I've got the camera out over here, and some of these clouds are just kind of hitting the end boundary and getting moved back over to this side. Yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing. Okay, so there's no Z fighting there. There's some issue with the camera. But anyways, I think I want to sort out this. So in the main object that controls the initial level load and kind of setting things up in preparation, I've disabled a whole bunch of stuff inside of it, and I want to just go through and start re-enabling it. And I don't want to promise I'm going to get all of these re-enabled in this session. I think what I'll do is I'll call the session goal. I'll do this like blackjack style. I'll say hit me, and the first card I'm going to get dealt is this create exploders for board, and I'll definitely get that done in this session. Then I'll get that done, and then just like somebody who's playing blackjack, I'll say hit me, do the player follow guide, etc., or some other part in here if I choose to, and I'll just make sure that whatever I pick to do I get done in this session, because if I pick something I can't get done in this session, it'll agonize. It'll be agonizing. It'll bother me a lot. It will antagonize me, which is agonizing. So that's what I'm up to. We'll start with the exploders. Pretty sure there was some error with those. So just to confirm there is a problem with them, I'll hit play and see what happens. There we go. There's an error. Okay, well I don't have these set, so that would be an issue. And I want those to be set in the prefab, so let me double check to see if they're set there. They are set there. They're not set in the scene for whatever reason. So let's go back to the scene. This one's probably going to be pretty easy to fix. This one's probably going to be like drawing a 2 when you're playing blackjack. Hit me. 2. Let's see. Okay. Prefabs. Level. Exploders. Okay. Go back to main. Exploder is a sort of pre-configured deterministic particle explosion. And that's not an industry term, that's an Eric term. I call them a exploder because I don't feel like saying exploder. It's just too much work. Exploder. They explode. That's what they do. Alright. Did it run clean? It ran clean. Probably that worked, but it'll be hard for me to really see if the sploders are working for realsies until I get a lot more things hooked up. Because I need the player to be moving around and maybe able to, say, walk onto these spikes, and then she'll just explode into little red bits, which looks suspiciously like blood and could earn me a more mature ESRB rating later. Okay, so I'm going to say hit me again. I'm going to go back to... Geez, I got too many tabs open. Let's start closing them. Okay. Ah, this one's important. This one is quite important. Player follow guide. Okay. So if I get this working right, it'll cause the camera to come over to where it's supposed to. Let me just see what happens when I hit play. No errors. I totally forget how all this stuff worked. Player follow object. I gotta close some of these tabs or I'll go crazy. Oh, I didn't save main object. Cancel. Let's try this again. Okay, still no errors. I totally forgot how that code worked. So player follow object is a property of main object, right? Oh, I didn't set the player transform on this. Okay, cool. Now what happens? Still off in a weird place. And I don't understand where this is. And what is looking at it. It kind of doesn't make sense to me. It's like I've got an extra camera someplace? Wait, there's a camera. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is like the default camera that gets thrown in by Unity. Okay. That's a problem. Just delete that. I don't need it. It also has the audio listener. That was the thing that was like, yeah, okay. So delete that. That's why I'm off in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Finally. Now I'm getting a sense that this is starting to look like the game I remember. It's making me feel good. Although I've got a whole bunch of things disabled, so I don't think I can move yet. Nope, not yet. Okay. So I am fairly unhappy with the player camera code. I mean, it's sort of like prototype level. I've used it to get a good idea of what the game experience would be, but there's some problems with it, like its update is tied to frame rate. So if you have a faster frame rate, its movement will be a little bit different, a little bit faster perhaps. Yeah, it does do a lot of calculation to determine the angle to display at. Or I should say, it will need to perform much more calculation work, and it's not sustainable to keep all that calculation work happening at runtime. So I want to move out a lot of that calculation into pre-processing, so that the code that has to choose where to put the camera doesn't have as much work to do. But that's not for this session. For this session, I want to get it up and going. I do have a rule to fix things so that the console will run clean as I go. There are no audio listeners in this scene. So let me fix that. I think I want to do that with some new code. So my thing is, I want the audio listener to not be tied to any game object that lives and dies with the scene. I want it to be a don't destroy object. Now if I just put it underneath the booter, that means that it will it'll stick around as you go between scenes. So, you know, if I've got some music playing, or some dialogue, or just even the sound effects of the previous level fading out, things like that, I can keep them going without everything going to silence as the transition to the new level goes. So let me just try one thing. Yeah, maybe I don't want to write any new code. Maybe I just want to, for the moment, just add a game object. Actually, let's take this out of here. Let's go into yeah. Yeah, I want to change the prefab instead of the scene object. Okay, so I might end up doing more than that later, but I think this should get me past that one error. Scenes. Console is again clean. Okay. Alright, do I say hit me? Do I say hit me? It's early. Well, it's not that early. I did do a bunch of other stuff that got me started later. I think I'll aim to be done by 8. Let me say hit me. Hit me. Player guide. Let's do the player guide. Re-enable the player guide. I'm guessing all the discovery didn't work. Here's what I can do. Oh man, this is the important stuff right here. Okay, this has to happen first. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a pretty good idea why this wouldn't work. Or at least one of the reasons why. All these tags. I gotta have these tags here. And that wasn't copied across, so that is gonna complain about missing tags. So there's a kind of easy way to get the tags in. So these are all the tags. The tags will get added as soon as you drag in a prefab to the scene that needs that tag, and then Unity will just kind of say, oh, well, gotta add the tag. So I know it's going to complain about anything I haven't added in yet. So if I put in an axle, okay, it's got an axle tag, all of a sudden the axle's there. This isn't a bad way also to just to make sure that all the code for adding back in pieces is working as expected. So let's give it a spoke. Okay. Okay, what else will it complain about? Beamers. Let's give it a beamer. Give it a Billy, let's give it a brawler, let's give it a bystander, a heavy, a spiker, spiker, heavy, boom, boom, boom. Fix the snap settings. There we go. What else? What else? Axles, beamers, bonus. Bonus. Throw a bonus on there. Bonus. Bonus. Bonus, bonus. Block and block pad. Do I already have those? Not yet. It's probably going to ask for letter gates too. That was kind of weird. Okay. What else? What else? Block piece, block pad, brawler, door. Get some doors in there. And I already got exit. I got the exit. Nope, not yet. Ice. I think I've got that already. Maybe not. Player, pop wall. Pop floor. Rails. Tracks. Water knob. Waypoints. All right. Okay. So, very likely there's going to be some errors when I hit play. Extremely, extremely likely. Okay. Wincing as I hit play. Heavy is not defined. Okay. I thought I did bring in a heavy. Looks like this guy's missing a tag in the prefab. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's mistagged. Save all that garbage. Ice. Are you missing something for ice? Okay. Is there ice discovery? So discovery objects, they're components, sorry, the discovery component is added to game objects that I want to register with my board data structure, or my kind of game logic containing game logic applicable data structure. So ice, I want to pull that game object out there. I want it to kind of send a message. That's not quite the right way to state it. I want it to be discoverable by the thing that the code that goes and like looks at all the game objects in the scene and says what are the game objects in the scene that need to be added to the board, so that we can deal with them in a simple way instead of them all being like a bunch of meshes and things in the world space that are different places and are hard to deal with. We need to think of them abstractly. They're inside of this one column and row. We need to be able to write code that says, okay, is the player slipping on this patch of ice? Well, it depends what column and row the player is at and what column and row and height that the ice is at, as opposed to not using that data structure. We'd have to do something like do all kinds of checks with ray casting and see like, oh, if we step over here, what object are we touching? What does the raycaster say we've hit, and things like that. So let me add a script for the ice, and this is going to be simple piece discovery. The class that will be created on the board is called ice piece. Yeah. Save all that. Clear this. Hit play. Okay. Okay, so the beamer, when I attempted to add it to the board, was unsuccessful. Let's see if this is the thing that fails. If I step over, yeah, that fails. Okay, cool. And I did bite off a giant chunk. I hope I can get it done in the next half hour. Okay. What does this say? Call, -1. That's a little bit odd. But the column is at -1. Okay. I organized my scene, which moved all those objects I created underneath this level, game object. I'm going to see if that makes a difference. There might be some code someplace that's sort of relying on local coordinates. So let's try that. No, it's still -1. This might be not using the new world offset to map XYZ to the board coordinates. Let me check that out. So, find nav pieces. No, it is applying a transformation. (21,413). let's do something like this. If piece game object tag equals gamer piece tag. So I'm just kind of looking at this a little bit. Oh yeah, I can see a few things here. It actually looks like my level bounds is out of sync with the changes that I made. So if I just go here and I say pre-process the level, no? Interesting. I'm just wondering why my pre-processing suddenly is not showing the right bounds. So if I just like take one of these other objects and I go, no, it's not following it like it usually does. This guy here, the level bounds gizmo. Alright, so I gotta debug that. My level bounds is not right. So this thing here is, I don't think it's that valuable. I'm gonna take that back out. Because I already know one good reason why it would fail. It's that my level bounds are not being set correctly. So I go back to depth scan util, set a breakpoint, and see what is going on. Or is that? No, level bounds. Hold on, I'm forgetting more things are. this. 12. Seems like that's not enough. It's missing a bunch of things. Okay, what are the criteria? Okay. Decorations. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm remembering some things. So decorations, will it be included or not? Go layer 0, so it will be. Alright, so it's going to go through and look at every single decoration. And I believe all of them have got, what? Oh, yeah, going down one level deep. Okay. So all these, yeah. All of the decorations have a ignore raycast, so they will not be added. That's fine. I don't want the decorations to be added. So step up. Where am I at now? Children of the level. Lighting, I would hope it would be ignored, but I don't think it will be. Yeah, okay, I got it. So the sunbathing area has got ignore raycast, which causes all of its children to be ignored. And you can see the area here, it's like it's got all this stuff in here. I still don't know why the beamer. Oh, the beamer's also got ignore raycast. All the creatures have ignore raycast. I think it's okay to continue with that because I can. Okay, so I'm using that ignore raycast thing for two purposes right now. One is so that the depth scan that I do, which just scans the whole level and tries to figure out like what are the solid things that the player can stand on the floors and ceilings. So it ignores sort of temporary things that are on top of them or that aren't meaningful in defining the floors and ceiling. That's one use for this ignore raycast. The other use I have for it is designating background objects. And because I'm using it for both things, it's causing me a little bit of grief, but I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it. What I can do is change this a little bit, so I can say if an object's not active in the hierarchy, then just ignore it and its children. But then this thing where I'm checking, you know, is the layer default or is it something else? The something else could be ignore raycast, it could be editor only, it could be something like that. I won't use that to cull all of its children. I'll just use it to cull the top level object. So we'll say if it equals 0, then let's go ahead and add it. Now I'll make a note up here because I may have to come back and make changes later. So good comments. I'll make some good comments here. That should help me later. Well, it might help me later. Sometimes I document things in source code and I never actually need to read that ever again. Sometimes typing it out helps me clarify my thoughts. And I'll remember because I typed it out. Sometimes it's just a waste of time. Okay, so I think that's the key to it. I'm getting a little bit cocky here. Let me see what happens. Yeah, okay. So let's check out the level bounds. It updated really fast. I like that. That's great. And also I'm happy that I've got the ignore raycast set correctly for this exit thing, which has like a giant mesh that goes way up into the sky. So the bounding box didn't jump way the fuck up in the air. So now my beamer is inside of the level bounding box. That means its coordinates should be something more reasonable that aren't out of bounds. I'm thinking about like this error, getting it in the future, and if it's worth adding some extra check for it. Nah, it's going to be easy for me to see it. All that I'll do is I'll hit play while I'm testing and developing the level, and there'll be a big obvious error. So it's not worth writing some code that checks for that situation and gives a nice friendly error message telling me what to do. I don't want to like be so good about doing all those things that I waste a lot of time being prissy with messages like that. So what happens if I hit play now? Oh, let's see if the beamer adds. Cool, getting close, getting close. Water is not defined. I don't feel like bringing water into this. I don't feel like dragging the prefab in and leaving it there. So I'm just gonna add a tag. Stuff's added. And my player guide initialized correctly. How close am I to having start all the way done? Let me just check this. Because now in my poker hand I've got 19. You know, like if I draw again, I have to draw a 2. Otherwise I'll be up till like 11 or something like that, and I don't want to. I don't want to. All right, how about this? So I'm not promising that I'm going to do all the rest of this tonight, but I'm just going to try it. Is it going to make me go crazy though? No, okay. I will allow myself to comment this back in if it doesn't work, and I will not feel like I've been defeated. I allow myself to do that. Okay, here goes. Oh, I hate it when I save code in the debugger while while it's playing. I hate that. That's risky. That's it. That's my only error. Sound effects, blind sound effects. Which means essentially that this thing is not populated well. Okay. So I do not want to do all this mapping tonight, but there are a bunch of audio files that get specified inside of here. So I will not bite that off. But let me see how close I am. So I could undo this. I'll say to do it. Let me see, what else? Oh, stop doing that. Stop hitting save while it's playing. Okay. 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 So close. But it's 8 o'clock, and if I dig into the sound effects, that can easily take me out to like way past dinner time, and then I'll hear Elizabeth going, "When we having dinner?" And I'll go, "Oh, almost got it," and then I'll have to stop. I'll have to stop in the middle of it, and it'll drive me crazy. So I'm not saying bad about Elizabeth, it's just that I know that the competing needs will put me in a bad spot. So I'm going to save that for another session. I'm walking away from this session clean console, no errors. Everything seems to be working that is uncommented except for this one thing I got left. And oh, this could be deleted. Oh, if I delete it though, what happens? Okay, hold on. Ah, stop doing that, Eric. Stop saving right when it's playing. Don't do that. That's bad. Cool. Okay. Alright. So I'm quitting with my blackjack hand of 19. I'm not going to say hit me again. This one will bust me. I'm almost certain of it. But it's a good session. Walking away victorious. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream right now.